John, A&M is ranked as one of the least friendly institutions towards GLBT students. How do you feel about this, and do you have any plans to improve the environment?
That's a fantastic question, and it hurts me that this is a community that feels alienated against. And one thing that I'd like to point out is that Jose Luis Zelaya is a candidate who endorsed our campaign today, and he is a person who has had a very strong relationship with the GLBT community. He has had a very strong relationship with all kinds of international groups across campus. This is a guy who's inspired so many people to stay at Texas A&M because he believes in the student body. He endorsed us because we believe in the student body as well. We believe in our ability to make this a welcoming environment for everybody. It is my promise as student body president to never pass a bill that alienates any group of students. We believe that this is not the role of student government, and it's our hope to be a champion for every student group on campus, and that we will maintain strong collaborative relationships with all kinds of students, no matter if they're gay, straight, Muslim, Christian, whatever it might be. We want to be there for everybody.
Thomas, your thoughts on the welcoming environment of A&M and any steps to change?
Yes, sir. Oftentimes, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, that words are nice, but they're also cheap. And I think that looking at actions is what's most important. And if you look at our campaign, we wanted to make sure that our campaign personified the goals that we have. Unity and diversity was one of them. We have over 100 student organizations represented. We have more cultural and diversity groups endorsing us than any other campaign. I guess that's only one. But I have 2 open members of the GLBT on my top campaign staff right now that have been extremely helpful to me, to us. They've been with us since the very, very beginning, and it makes no difference. And it shouldn't to anyone else. This is a university where all ideas must be fostered, must be welcomed. And so we can have dialogue about it. We can disagree, that's fine, but we can have dialogue about it. We can learn from each other. We can have an enriched experience. I've spoken to the GLBT before, and I went and honestly, when I was there, my heart went out to them, and it broke a little bit because I saw a group of students who love this university, but just feel a little bit beat down, a little bit alienated. And I don't think that's okay. No group should feel like that when they walk across campus. And I made it very clear to them that I want to be their advocate. I want to be their encourager. I met with Andrew Jan Carrick, who's a senator of mine. We've become very close friends. He's very active in that community, and sat down with him and discussed what's important to them. And they know that I will be their protector because they need one right now.
Thomas, one of the students wrote and asked, what do you think is your biggest strength and your biggest weakness? How will those skills, if you're elected, play a role during your service as student body president?
What a question, right? I work too hard. I care too much. Joke. I'd say my biggest weakness, I'm not good at scheduling. I'm not good at computer skills. I'm not good at the small details. And there are a lot of very, I have trouble sitting still in an office for too long. I need to get out. I need to be with people. I need to be talking with them. I need to be working. I need to be boots on the ground. I need to be hands-on. But luckily, the main thing is finding people in your cabinet that surround you. You've done this in the campaign. I have an incredible campaign team. Surround yourself with people who have strengths that meet your weaknesses, and that's exactly what we'll do. My biggest strength, I'd say, is I love people. I love people, and I said it before, but I have a passion for helping others to succeed. Encouraging others is probably my favorite thing to do on earth, and I'm extremely principled. When I see something that I don't think is right, regardless of the consequences, I have to act. Tonight, sitting in that meeting, when the clock was ticking down, and I wanted to come to this debate, knowing that it would help my campaign, I needed to be here, and I knew that it would look negative if I wasn't. But I also knew that I have been elected to do a current job and serve as the Student Services Chair, as the chair of the largest committee in the Student Senate, the committee that's passed more legislation successfully than any other committee this year under our leadership. And I knew that I needed to sit there, even if it risked my campaign, to do what was right. And so I'd say strength would be passion for helping people and being principled and doing what's right.
John, your opportunity to comment on a strength and a weakness and how those would influence your service as student body president.
Thank you. I think in terms of my biggest weakness, and my girlfriend can absolutely second this one, but it is finding balance with my relationships outside of my responsibilities. My friends and my family mean the world to me, and I would do anything for these people who have given so much to me in these past couple weeks through this campaign. Oftentimes, I find myself overcommitted in what I want to do for this school, and it's my fear that sometimes at the end of the day, I'll look back and I'll say, "Man, I was not a very good friend today to some people," and so on a personal level, I think that would be my biggest weakness. However, biggest strength I think would be my ability to empower others. If any of y'all were at the last debate, there's one question that came up about how I don't want to define anything as mine, how I like to use we and us. It's this idea of giving credit to everybody around me. I know that I, as a person, am capable of so little, but as a campaign team, as an executive council, we can accomplish so much. This idea of we gives others authority, it gives them credit, it gives them recognition, it empowers them to do more than they ever thought that they could. And I believe that is why I'm ultimately the best candidate for student body president, because I will be able to lead an effective team of people who believe in themselves and who believe in us as a team.
John, there's a follow-up question that builds on that, and that is, what skills have you found in yourself and honed during your time here at Texas A&M through your experiences both in the classroom and in student organizations?
I realized that I'm not nearly as cool, as smart as I thought I was coming out of high school. I think there's probably a lot of us who could say that in this room tonight. My first semester at college was not the best academic semester I've ever had. And after that semester, I took a step back, looked at myself in the mirror and said, "Man, you really need to step your game up." And it has been my commitment to working hard and making myself better every single day that has made me a better human being in my experience at Texas A&M. I've been surrounded by some of the most outstanding people I've ever met in my entire life, people who value their faith, people who respect others, who have that focus on the personal relationship. And it is the example that they have set that has challenged me to become a better man. I can give complete credit tonight to my faith and to those around me for anything that I've ever achieved. And it's not, anything that I've ever achieved is not because of any special skills that I have or any incredible ability. It has been simply due to a will work attitude and an indomitable spirit, no matter what it might be.
Thomas, can you identify any skills that you've honed during your time here at A&M?
First and foremost, I learned that Math 141 is my absolute Achilles heel. Miserable experience. I'm absolutely overwhelmed looking back at the path that I've taken through college. Oftentimes faith is very important to me, and oftentimes we find that God's plans are different than our own, and God's plans are always better than our own. And so just the journey here has just been incredible and has made me who I am. And I've changed a lot since I first left high school. And in many ways, I feel that I've more than anything else learned the gift of receiving from giving. I never expected that as a full-time college student I would be volunteering 30 hours a week at a high school in Bryan. I didn't seek out that. It fell into my lap, and it worked out well. But I realized that I've learned more teaching those kids and serving people there, serving people in SGA, than I ever have in the classroom. And I've learned that you benefit so much more from helping someone else succeed than always just pursuing after selfish ambition. I feel that I have received a PhD in people from being around you guys and being surrounded by this community, and I am blessed and I am humbled to get it. And so I'm very, very grateful. So learning that giving is much better than receiving.
This next question resonates with me personally because you'll have 365 days, the fastest year of your life, that will involve responsibilities from still being a student in the classroom, public appearances, and then all these promises you made on your campaign. So as student body president, you have 1 year to implement policy and improve the experience of A&M students. When you leave office, what do you think will truly be different about Texas A&M because of your service?
I'm up.
Yes, Thomas, to you.
You know, I believe that student government does a lot of wonderful things. I'm involved in student government in several big ways, and they've increased longer than I'm here. But there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect between student government and the uninvolved student. I'm afraid that if we went outside right now and caught one of these students leaving the poli-sci library and said, "Hey, what has your student government done for you lately?" I don't think that they would have much of an answer. And I think that's a problem. And so I'd like to set precedent as a student body president of clear communication between SGA and all students, not just students in SGA. There are a few specific things that I think that we can leave, and we'll come back 10 years from now, and we can say, "Oh, we started that. We started that." A few things are the Aggie Union. The two authors of the Aggie Union are in the audience tonight, and they're on my policy team. And it's a wonderful diversity initiative, and it's a tangible thing. We can all talk about diversity, but this is a tangible way to encourage it. It can't be forced, but it can be encouraged, and it can be facilitated. So the Aggie Union is a print that we want to make that'll stay. Also, an on-campus service project. The big event is a wonderful, wonderful staple of Texas A&M selfless service, going out into the community and raking leaves or painting houses or helping the elderly. And in the same way, I'd like to do that on campus, where we get together in the fall, opposite the spring, and get together. Georgia Tech does this, where you get together and you clean up campus together. It gives you more pride and more care in the facilities around us. And the campus employees will appreciate this as well. So between specific things like the Aggie Union, like the service project, but also just mainly having an open and accessible student body president, I want that to be the status quo from now on, because it hasn't been. And I want the status quo to be involved, SGA being involved in the everyday lives of students.
John, if you're bestowed with 1 year in office, how will Texas A&M truly be different because of your time serving?
Well, I want to start off by saying I do think the on-campus service project is a great idea, but unfortunately it's against the law. The state will not allow non-employees to do work on a campus, and insurance will not cover the cost of insuring so many students to do this service project. But I would like to say that as student body president, I'd like to take a few small steps in the big picture of this university. I know that there's so little that I can do as an individual in the big picture. I said it in the last debate. 10 years from now, nobody's going to remember who I am. However, if we can play a small role in improving the ag experience for students here at A&M, setting up the future generations for success, then that will be defined as a successful year student body president. It's my hope that as student body president that at the end of my term I can say I built a few extremely special relationships that I'll be able to look back on 80 years from now and say those are relationships that lasted a lifetime. That has been my focus in the campaign. It's my focus in the upcoming year. That we'll be able to walk away and say, you know what, there are a few individuals who are changed through our focus on them as a person. And if I could do that, that would be the most amazing year of my entire life.